Today is going to be the first tutorial for the Manacled bind, and I'm going to go over all of the materials that you need for this. I am also relatively new to binding. This is the first book that I've bound from start to finish by printing out the typeset and everything. And I learned completely on TikTok from these accounts whose entire account is like pretty much based off of bindings. I know everybody learns a little bit differently, so if my descriptions don't work the best for you, I highly recommend checking out these accounts for tips and tricks and tutorials, or just like a different perspective on it. P.S. I'm also posting these videos when I am on a work trip for my full-time job, so if I don't get back to your comments immediately, I will when I have the chance to. Here's a list of all of the materials that I've used throughout the process of these videos. You can screenshot this if you want, but I also linked every exact thing that I use, the exact brand and everything in my Amazon storefront, which is linked in my bio. If you go to my profile and you hit that link button, the Amazon is right at the top of that first link that you open. It's gonna bring you to my Amazon page, and I have an entire list specified for bookbinding. Everything that I talk about or use is gonna be in this list, and I put it on the list in the order that you need it. So if you don't wanna make one giant purchase right away, you can split this up and do it in order of each video. Again, all of the exact products that I used on here are linked, but just to go over a couple tips that I've learned throughout the process. First, a dual-sided printer is pretty key. If you're trying to do something on a single-sided printer, it is going to be so tedious, especially with a book this long. Next, short grain paper really helps you fold the signatures together and really make that like a nice crisp fold instead of trying to go against the grain, which we'll talk about when that video comes. I'll walk you through finding the typeset in just a minute. And then the last quick tip is using a genuine bone folder instead of one of the plastic ones helps so much, just because the plastic ones get a bunch of little nicks in them and they just don't work as well. So you've had ample time to screenshot this. We're gonna move on to finding the typeset. There's a Facebook group called Amateur Fanfic Binding, and they have a ton of tips and tricks as well as documents that they share. So you can request to join the group for free. All you need to do is like accept the group rules when you try to join. Join the group, you're gonna go here into group announcements. There's a pinned post with the Google Drive that has the archive of all of the files in the group. Once you get into that drive, you can see that they're organized by typeset, by tools, by links, all of those things. I'm gonna go into typesets by fandom. There are endless options. We're gonna go into Harry Potter. Within the Harry Potter folder, they are broken down into the different stories. So we're gonna select Manacled. And then once you get into that Manacled folder, we're gonna click this folder, which you can't see, but it says single volumes. A lot of people bind this with 3 volumes because of how big of a book it is. I'm gonna do the example using a single volume. Scroll down within that folder and we are gonna go to H1423 in the A4 size. This is how that first page looks when you open it up. This beautiful typeset was created by Matilda Rogers. You can also search the group for her name to find this link. And then we're gonna download it in that top right corner. I'm gonna do that on my computer just because it's easier to work with from there. So now that we've collected the materials and downloaded the typeset, we're gonna come back in the next video and we are gonna print the typeset and press our signatures together.